Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp with yet another brew review for you guys. And today we are having technically a Belgian beer, but also a bit of a French beer. Well, actually it is Belgian, but I met the man or the family that brews this in France. We are talking about LePlan-Vermeersch, and Vermeersch is a very typical Flemish Dutch last name. Now you will immediately notice a theme in this bottle, so let's go over the packaging first. What we have here is a gold laurel crown and a checkered flag, all things that tell us racing. And exactly that is true. Why? Because the boss, the owner, the founder of this brewery, Mr. Vermeersch, he was an old race car driver. I believe he even won the 24 Hours of Le Mans twice. And at a certain time, he started a winery, or he bought a winery in the south of France, not too far from the Mont Ventoux, a place where I go climbing pretty much every year around Easter. And I visited this winery once or twice, tried a lot of their wines, absolutely top quality wines. And last year they suddenly gave me one of these. They said, we opened the brewery last year, you're a beer guy, how about you have a taste? And they had some special beers. Now I haven't tried many of them, but there was one with red beets, for example. I am very curious, because if their beer is just as qualitative as their wines, this might go somewhere. Now the beer is not brewed in France, it is brewed at home in Belgium. We've already had them as a guest at the Modest Beer Festival as well. These days it is brewed in their own small brewery in Westmalle, not too far from the Trappist monastery actually. Now I can't tell you much about this beer, pretty much only what's on the bottle. So this is a 8.4% ABV triple, and it says Belgian top fermented craft beer, contains barley malt and hop. So for the fans of the Reinheitsgebot, yeah, this is one for you guys. So let's have a taste. It's not really a gusher, but it is very active. I'm thinking maybe I was a bit too enthusiastic when bringing it up here, but I think it pretty much immediately... Oh, and I forgot my bottle caps. Unfortunately, bad preparation. Now, first off, what do we see? Yeah, it wasn't my fault. Because this is so extremely active. It's a proper tornado in there. We also see beautiful golden blonde, nearing a bit towards coppery, but I would still call this golden blonde, but a bit darker. Lovely, beautiful color. We have mixed foam. We have a nice thick and creamy head here, and because of this activity, the carbon dioxide activity in the beer, it grew to have larger bubbles on the top, but that is completely normal. Very classic, very malty. A bit of carbon dioxide in the nose as well, but that might not come as a surprise. Very hoppy. More hoppy than I expected. Slightly herbal, and even though they don't mention coriander, I do get a bit of that in the nose, but that might be because of the hops as well. Because that combination of classic Flemish bitter hops and carbon dioxide sometimes masks itself as coriander or as herbs. So don't pin me on that. So let's have a taste. Cheers. This is quite special. Now, I've had this bottle for a while, so it's not the freshest of beers. However, it tastes really strong. It's 8.4, but it tastes rather strong. I would compare this in carbon dioxide levels and in ABV level to, for example, a Duvel. But taste-wise, it is very malty. A lot of carbon dioxide, of course, but very malty. It has a very, very slight sweetness to it. But again, very malty sweetness. So not sugary, not sticky, not no molasses or anything. But then we come to the next part. So after that initial flavor, when the beer rolls over the tongue, we do get this rather complex profile. Again, a lot of carbon dioxide, already knew that. But it is quite herbal. I do get a tiny bit of licorice in there, but that might be because it's not the freshest. Now, on the other hand, I love a bit of licorice in my beer, so no complaints here. Slightly herbal in the sense, or quite herbal even, a bit floral, in the sense that I do get a bit of coriander through. So it's even a bit savory because of that, which I would not expect in a beer like this. So very, very interesting. And I also think that this level of carbonation is interesting when looking at the ABV, 8.4%. If this was to be too flat or too mellow, it would be way too dangerous, way too easy to overdo it. So I like my strong beers to have a strong mouthfeel as well, to be a bit of aggressive. I don't want to fight my beer, but I do want to feel the strength of my beer. So no surprises here. Yeah, decently brewed beer. The aftertaste is, I would say, thin. Again, in the aftertaste, as is always the case with active beers like this, rather carbonated. But it's mainly a bit savory, a bit herbal. So it's not sweet, it's not malty in the aftertaste. However, it is quite nice. And I do think in terms of balance, which is always the key word for me in tasting beers, this is a very balanced beer because it balances between the ABV, the carbon dioxide. Those fight each other a bit. Those get that strength in the beer. But at the same time, we get that slightly sweet maltiness as well as that savory herbal flavor. So it is rather complex, and in the end we get one lovely creamy balanced profile, which I absolutely love. I like when I have to take like 2 or 3 sips from my beer in order to just get all the flavors out of them, and when it warms up I even get more flavor instead of those typical macro build beers. So yeah, how about scoring? Looks good, smells good, tastes good. I have had better triples, I have had worse triples. So let's go for an 3.5. Now I do still see this foam rising, so I'm gonna pour a bit more. Obviously just for hygiene reasons, because I don't want my table full of beer. And now I'll have to spend my evening drinking LePlan-Vermeersch Tripel, a craft beer from Westmalle here in Antwerp, Belgium, but yeah, maybe also a bit from France. This all being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to support this channel, share a video, watch my Patreon. I'm thinking of starting a newsletter for all you guys. For all the new subscribers, welcome, just as welcome as everyone else. Thank you for being here. If you guys have any questions, remarks, suggestions, anything, leave them down below in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.